Ever notice how the Simpsons seem to have a crystal ball hidden somewhere in Springfield? They've called everything from political upsets to pop culture milestones. But as we venture through their 30-season-long tapestry, let's unearth the predictions still waiting in the wings to play out in our world. Number 1. Flying cars. Ever wondered why, with all our tech advancements, we still can't zoom through the skies in hover cars, just like in those sci-fi movies? I mean, who wouldn't want to dodge morning traffic with a quick soar above the city? Well, The Simpsons gave us a taste of this dreamy commute in a 2005 episode, Future Drama. Fast forward to 2013 in their world, and guess what Homer splurged his savings on? Yep, a hover car and an underwater house. But that's a story for another day. But let's get real. While we aren't exactly whizzing around in the skies, some tech giants are inching closer to making this dream a reality. Uber hinted at launching aerial ride-sharing in 2020. Google's very own Larry Page didn't stay behind, unveiling his Kitty Hawk Flyer prototype in 2018, while also supporting some bright minds aiming to dominate the future hovercar market. But here's the buzzkill. There's still a mountain to climb. Current battery tech can't quite handle the energy needed for daily floating commutes. And imagine the headache of setting up a new air traffic control system. Yikes. So, while The Simpsons gave us a fun peek into the future, for now we might have to keep our hovercar dreams parked. But hey, never say never, right? Number 2. Massive environmental disaster. Can you picture a whole town encapsulated under a gigantic glass dome? Sounds a tad far-fetched, right? But in the 2007 Simpsons movie, that's exactly what transpires. Our beloved Homer, in classic Homer fashion, unintentionally taints Springfield's water by tossing pig waste into their lake. As a drastic solution, the town gets sealed under a dome to contain its monumental pollution. While the idea of a real-life dome might get a chuckle, the underlying message of environmental crisis isn't so laughable. Case in point, Flint, Michigan's water calamity in 2014 bore an uncanny resemblance to Springfield's debacle. Now, I'm not saying we'll all be domed anytime soon, but when we hear about escalating global issues like alarming CO2 emissions, deforestation, and escalating temperatures, it's clear the environment's SOS signals are blaring. Young activists like Greta Thunberg, who some amusingly liken to the show's Lisa Simpson, are passionately ringing alarm bells. Their message? We better spring into action unless we fancy our world mirroring Springfield's predicament. So, while the idea of a town under a dome seems outlandish, the call to address environmental challenges is as real as it gets. Don't you think it's high time we listened? Number 3. Reptilian world leaders. Have you ever thought, even for a fleeting moment, that the world's leaders might be a tad different? Imagine this. In 1996, The Simpsons gave us a wild episode where Homer discovers a shocking truth. Both Bill Clinton and Bob Dole are, in fact, humanoid aliens. Crazy, right? This was all part of the Citizen Kang segment during their famed Treehouse of Horror 7 special. Now, while no one has legitimately unmasked any president to reveal an extraterrestrial, this concept isn't as unique as you'd think. There's a buzzing conspiracy theory suggesting many influential figures are secretly reptilian shapeshifters. Think about it. Obama, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, even the King of England have all been pointed at with suspicion. This theory gained traction thanks to British theorist David Icke, who regaled audiences of thousands with tales of these humanoid beings hell-bent on controlling humanity. He traces this reptilian race back to biblical times, referencing the serpent's temptation of Eve. Add to this the ancient artifacts showing lizard-like humans, and you've got yourself quite a storyline. However, tangible proof? Well, it's as elusive as Bigfoot, but here's a curveball. A brain model from the 1960s named the Triune Brain points out that there's a reptilian segment in our minds responsible for our basic instincts, a remnant from our early evolutionary days. Could it be that the biggest reptilian is inside us? Maybe the Simpsons were onto something after all, or maybe, just maybe, they were poking fun at our wild imaginations. Whatever the case, it's always fun to wonder, isn't it? Number 4, Mars colonization. Imagine the thrill of waking up and staring out of your window, only to be greeted by the mesmerizing red landscape of Mars. Wild, right? In a fascinating 2016 episode titled The Margian Chronicles, our favorite family, the Simpsons, give us a little preview. Lisa, with her boundless curiosity, signs up for a one-way voyage to Mars. A twist in the tale reveals their rocket was a mere facade, but a jump to 2051 showcases Lisa and Marge living the Martian dream, surrounded by urban comforts. It may sound like a whimsical plot from a TV show, but real-world dreamers are already gazing at the Martian horizon. Take Elon Musk, for example. He's so committed to seeing a bustling community on Mars that he's vowed not to sell any of his SpaceX shares until this dream gets off the ground. Pun intended. By 2024, SpaceX is gearing up to dispatch cargo flights to the Red Planet, setting the stage for future settlers. Not to be left behind, the United Arab Emirates envisions Mars 2117, a Martian city housing a whopping 600,000 souls. But let's pump the brakes on our space fantasies for a moment. Can we really pull this off? Scientists caution us to temper our enthusiasm. The vast challenges posed by Mars, its biting cold, raging dust storms, and low gravity, might just keep it as the distant cousin Earth waves to but never visits. Still, whether in fiction or reality, the dream of a Martian metropolis is one that keeps our imaginations soaring. Can you picture your next holiday on Mars? Who knows? With a bit of space magic and a dash of human tenacity, it might just happen. Number 5. Virtual reality chaos. Imagine waking up one day, strapping on a headset, and suddenly you're the ruler of your very own kingdom, or maybe you're flying over New York City with a cape billowing behind you. Sounds unreal, right? But the quirky folks of The Simpsons once toyed with this concept. In a 2016 episode titled Friends and Family, the notoriously grouchy Mr. Burns takes a leap into the mesmerizing world of virtual reality. But here's the twist. Instead of lounging on a virtual private island, he's living life as the head honcho of the Simpson clan. It's hilarious to watch, but it doesn't stop there. Soon, Springfield turns into a digital carnival as everyone trades in their real lives for their virtual fantasies. Now, it's easy to brush this off as just another hilarious scenario from our favorite yellow-skinned family. But there's a seed of reality here that's sprouting faster than we realize. Experts around the globe have started sounding the alarms, warning about the blurred lines between our real lives and the seductive pull of virtual realms. What happens when we can design our alter egos without rules or consequences? Will this change our sense of self or our moral compass? As VR tech weaves its way into our daily routines, we need to strike a balance. Virtual reality is a thrilling ride, a tool for unimaginable experiences. But let's not forget the charm of a sunlit sky, the laughter of friends, and the simple joys of, well, reality. Because while it's exciting to rule a virtual kingdom, there's nothing like the warmth of a real-life hug. So before we dive headfirst into our digital dreams, let's make sure we've got one foot grounded in our beautiful, messy, real world. Number 6. AI and mass automation. Ever had one of those moments when you're at work, daydreaming of robots doing your job while you sip on a cold drink at the beach? It's not just a wild daydream anymore. An episode from The Simpsons, in 2012 titled Them Robot, gave us a hint of this future. After Mr. Burns grumbles about the price of employee drug tests, Smithers, ever the problem solver, introduces robots to the power plant. What ensues is a comedic spiral into a 99% unemployment rate in Springfield, leaving Homer as the sole human worker. But it's not all giggles and tech marvels. Homer fumbles to gel with his mechanical peers. And before you know it, we're thrust into a classic robot uprising narrative, with our beloved Springfield in chaos. But folks, this isn't just TV drama. We're wading deep into an era where AI robots are inching closer to our desks, our tools, and our fries. Yep, even McDonald's is tinkering with robotic fryers and AI-driven orders. Some reports even whisper of robots potentially claiming 800 million jobs by 2030. And if that doesn't raise your eyebrows, Sophia, an uncannily human-like robot, became a citizen in Saudi Arabia in 2017, with the father of AI, Jürgen Schmidhuber, hinting at colossal shifts in our world within the next 30 years. One has to wonder, will our future be a delightful dance with robots or more of a clumsy tango? And more importantly, who gets to lead? Remember, if a robot ever asks you to dance, make sure it doesn't have 2 left feet or gears. And there you have it, folks. The Simpsons, an iconic masterpiece that blends humor and deep insights, might be subtly hinting at what's to come. This beloved show, with its mix of satire and surrealism, has a knack for weaving tales that sometimes eerily mirror real-world scenarios. Beyond the comical exploits in Springfield, there's a layer of prophetic wisdom hidden in those episodes. Whether it's the uncanny virtual worlds or the whimsical take on technological advancements, each episode might be serving us a slice of future possibilities. So when you next burst into laughter over Homer's antics or nod sagely at Lisa's observations, pause and ponder. Could this be a sneak peek into our awaiting destiny? As we eagerly wait for more glimpses into the future, wrapped in hilarity and heartwarming moments, always remember to look beyond the surface. Springfield's animated streets might just hold the key to tomorrow's wonders.